Hey partner, it's Nick, and today I'm going to be making what's known as a junk journal, which is basically where you get to use all your random scraps of paper and newspaper and magazines and stuff and put it into a cool journal, artsy diary thing. I'm inspired by the YouTube channel Treasure Books. You should definitely check it out. And I've never done this before. I think I'll have lots of cool sounds and some nice relaxing visuals, and you'll get to watch me stumble my way through this awkward process. So yeah. Alright, so my water has finally finished boiling, and what I've done is I have peeled off a whole bunch of the very outer part of an onion peel. So you want to make sure you don't get like the part that's wet and actually smells like onion, because that will make your book smell like onion. And so I have all these peels, and I'm just going to pour my boiling water over them and then set them to simmer. So the remaining water I'm going to pour into this tray with tea bags. I'm hoping this goes okay and doesn't just get very hot water everywhere. So now I can let this steep for a bit. So we are still just waiting on the onion mixture to finish cooking, I guess, and I have just the tea mixture here. And then here I tried to mix a bit of blue paint with one tea bag, and it ended up just being this awful like swamp green. So I'm hoping when the paper is like dry and stuff it'll be a lot lighter. But anyways, I thought I would show you some of the paper scraps that I selected just to give you some inspiration. Just to start off with, obviously I just have like regular paper. And then I also have random bits of newspaper, old scraps of paper from like school, because I graduated, some lined paper, some pages from a book actually, which you may be like, what the fuck, Nicolina? You love books, that's sacrilege. So the book was, it was this book by Lindsay Ellis, who is apparently like a YouTuber, and that's partially why this book was able to be published, because it was so bad. Like, this book was just awful. It was so terrible. It was like reading a Transformers fan fiction. It was just so bad. So I have some of those pages in here. I have some pages from the Uline catalog. I have some pages from an old book of poetry that I found a while ago, which if you were on my Patreon at the time you will recognize. I have some pages from a magazine. What is it? A magazine that I was published in, but I got like an extra copy of, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. And I have some pages from an old Moleskine planner agenda thing. So I think those will be cool, like to have the calendar pages to fill out. So yeah, I'm gonna start to put them in here and in here, and then when my onions are done, I'll put the remainder in here, and we'll see how much space we have. So I've just been soaking all the pages. Color is not as strong, and there's definitely not as much room as I thought there would be. But you know, it is what it is. At the very least, they'll have some kind of color and like a texture to them, which I like. So this paper ended up taking like a super long time to dry, like overnight basically, so I thought I may as well show you the all of the results first, because I am so happy with them. So this is just the regular, like the regular writing paper. And I love like how varied everything is. Like you have some places where it's like really splotchy, and some where it's just like very consistent color. And then you have stuff like this. Like, how did this even happen? This is so cool. And I have a lot of regular paper, as you can see. I love it so much. I love how it turned out. And then this is, basically I divided everything into like sections that you could write on, sections that were just kind of like for decoration or whatever. This is still paper that you can write on. So these are the calendar pages that are just like with tea that I dyed. I think they look so good. Again, like the paper already has like a very nice, like smooth sort of texture to it. And with the tea, it feels really cool. I don't know how to describe it. And the water that was like swamp colored actually made it look really cool, in my opinion. Like, this is how this looks. Like, whoa, this is so cool. Look at that. Like the blue paint. I love that. This one looks really good, like the map. And oh my goodness, the water with like the onion peels ended up being super yellow. So all the pages that I dyed in that are like ridiculously yellow. I'm actually like not a huge fan of it, but I think it still looks cool when it's like mixed in with the other ones. So also love how these turned out. Some are just scraps, some are the full pages. It was really hard to tear it out of the book. Like, I tried to do it straight and it just didn't work. So this is as close as I could get to it. Again, with like the yellow. Not a whole lot of color in this one. This was just tea. I think all like the little pictures in it and stuff look really cool too. Super yellow. I don't think it looks bad for the poetry pages, actually. I think that looks really good. Kind of meh about how like the newspaper turned out, like this piece specifically, I guess. Oh, that has a drop of water on it still, but that's fine. Yellows. Ooh, I love how this turned out. That looks so good. Like the poetry and the paper is still like shiny and magazine-y, you know? Oh, this newspaper ended up being cool. I love how like the edges and stuff get kind of yellow. And these are just the ₛ pages. Very yellow, very splotchy. I think it looks so cool. And lastly, I have just the line paper. A lot of texture and a lot of different sort of variations on them. I think that's really neat. So I had the thought that I could use just like an average shipping and envelope. Sorry, my stutter is really bad today. An average shipping envelope because it's like the perfect size. Where was my testing paper? So paper's going to be folded in half. And then you can see that the way it sits on the envelope is there's just like a little bit of a gap on every side because the envelope is a little bit bigger than an average piece of paper, which will make it like the perfect size to be a little journal. So yeah, I'm gonna plan this out a bit more, and then you can watch me try to put this together. Alrighty, so what I have done is found all the pages that I want to use and put them in groups of 5, basically, these little bundles. And once I did that, I just kind of sat there and realized I have no fucking clue how to like actually bind this together. Like I have a vague idea, like I want to use needle and thread for the most part. But beyond that, like I have no practical idea how to do this. So I like kind of looked stuff up, and I'm going to do like a mixture of what other people are doing and just kind of like winging it. But first I do want to show you like what the bundles kind of look like. I'm going to trim this ribbon, but I want to make sure I leave myself enough room to fuck up and make it too short. So it's like a good mix of like, you get a calendar page once in a while, you get a random page of a book, you get a piece of lined paper, a piece of blank paper, a piece of U-line, but also like lots of room to write actually. And I do want to add like some stencils and some other like accessories, and I know logically I should do that first, but I just want to get the binding over with because I'm kind of nervous for it. So I did kind of like try it out because I wanted to make sure that it would work. So what I did was I poked little holes, and then I just kind of sewed it up using like some really strong thread. And I kind of fucked up because it's like off center because I had this envelope here and I couldn't see like perfectly where the fold was. But overall, like literally first time. There we go. So I take the middle, and I'm just using this ruler to kind of make sure they're all lined up. And then place them flat, and I secure the paper with these little clippies. Here. Okay, so the holes are poked in. Now I am using... There goes my needle. That's fun. Fuck. Alrighty, so I'm going through the bottom. And then through the next one. This also went a lot faster than I thought it would. Like it's mostly just kind of making sure things are straight and threading your needle. But for the actual sewing part, it is pretty fast and easy. And I'm trying to pull hard, but not so hard that it rips, obviously. That, and then I go back through the holes I just went through. So yeah, now I can take these bad boys off. And I think I made this a lot better than the first one. It's like actually centered along the spine. This is amazing. I am so good. Look how cool it is. So now I have 2 of these little guys. And when I'm done, I'm just going to attach these somehow. Okay, so I'll be back when I have done this to all these. Yay. Alright, so I have made a lot of progress, but it was really difficult and I had literally no idea what to do. So let me show you what I've come up with. Okay, so after I sewed together all the different little bundles of paper, I had no idea how to, like, I knew that I could sew them all together again, but I just, like, I didn't know where to go from there. So I ended up using this, the sticky lace that I had and, like, winding it through the loops, and then I have all these, like, kind of not very nice looking knots and stuff left over. And then I put another thing of the sticky lace just on the spine like that. So I was left with this, and I was like, okay, what do I do now? After a lot of trial and error, what I came up with was I'm still using this envelope. I have to get rid of this knot somehow. And I sewed on this little thing of lace here just to make it look nice. And it's not so much a spine as like just like a folder to keep it in. So I put it in, and then I have these little clips. I forget what they're called, but they're very strong. And then I just take the first page and I fold this underneath like the envelope-y bit, and I secure it with a clip. And then I do the same for the back. So then effectively, it's just a nice little book. So now, all that's left to really do is put on like the final touches. So take these back off. Yeah, I'll put this aside for now, and we can start on the cover. Alrighty, here is the cover. I think it is really cute. Still has to dry, so I'll probably just put this aside for now and start working on the inside. Okay, so we finally have the finished product, and I actually love how it turned out. So I'll just give you a little flip through. You can see I put down some paper over certain pages. I put little slips of paper inside the envelopes to give it more writing room. Some stencils, paper. I'll just go through and show you some of my favorite pages, I think. Another page like that. This page has a lot of stenciling. Lots of blank space for writing. I like where you can see the stitching. Anywhere where there's like the calendar pages, I think those look so good. Poetry pages. Magazine. Stenciling. Lined paper. I guess I'm just kind of showing you all the pages, not just my favorite pages. This looks so good. Oh, the map also looks so cool. Another page with an envelope. Trying to find the parts where there was the ribbon. I have two. Okay, yeah, there's one ribbon. Oh, I love this page too. This is where I actually sewed in some blank paper. And then, yes, here we go. These are some of my favorite pages. So we have this lovely calendar page, and then this large clear ribbon, and this poetry page. So yeah, lots of pockets, lots of places to put things. Flip this out of the way. This part of the envelope itself is also a pocket where I currently just have some stickers. And tuck that back in. And then this little bead says secret and also beauty, apparently. I really just wanted secret, but they're double-sided. And yeah, this is the first attempt. I think I can actually get really good at this and make some that I would be okay selling on like my Etsy store. That is the goal. And in the meanwhile, I will just be using this journal as my journal because I really like it. I think it's so pretty and so cool and so like, it just feels good. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. I hope you like listening to it. And see you next time.